Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Or if you've been here before, welcome back. And thank you so much to all of you that have been watching my videos and hitting the like button. Those of you who have subscribed. If you haven't, go ahead and think about it because I'd appreciate it. But I'm Deanne Castro. I'm a Creative Members Advisor in Bakersfield, California. And I love showing you guys my border ideas and then showing you the page ideas that I find from various sources. So the borders, though, are my ideas, and I hope you like them. So I have one to show you for today. This one is using the new Creative Memories uh, um, border maker cartridge called Linear Plaid. And when I first saw it, I wasn't real sure that I could do very much with it. But this time I did a little bit of weaving. So this is punched with that punch. But as you can see, I wove 3 different papers underneath it to give it a little bit of a different look. Because this is what it looks like. And that's how it punches. So as we go along today, I'll show you how this works. I'm also going to be using a different border maker cartridge. This one is the Scalloped Hearts. Both of these are available on your advisor's website. So if you don't have either one of these, you might want to snag them before they get discontinued. So these are the 3 that I've done so far. Both of these were done with the Autumn Cottage paper. It is sold out online, but I'm sure that your advisor can get you some of it if you like it. It's one of my favorite papers lately. And I also did this one with the new Christmas paper. This is the gold shimmer, and this is the firecracker shimmer that I used on these. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to punch this paper. Tonight, I'm using the Croptoberfest paper. This was my all-time favorite out of that paper pack. I just love it. So I think the border is going to look really pretty using these various sheets out of the Croptoberfest paper. Okay. And so the first thing we want to do is get out our paper cartridge holder here, pull this out from underneath, lift this bar up, slide the paper in, push it all the way up against the edge of this paper holder, push the bar down so that it's held in place, push this back underneath, line this knob, this little mark up with these little mark here on the edge, and then just follow it all the way down. So I'm going to punch, punch. This one is a really easy one to do. It doesn't come off. And so the piece of paper doesn't get caught like it could on the next one that we're doing. But here we go. Move these extra little pieces out of the way. And we're going to cut this off. So I'm going to trim this at just about 1¼ inches, because what I want is this edge to be about the same depth as this edge. So make sure it's lined up straight. And we're going to trim it. Okay, there we go. So see how the holes just go, right through right there. So we are going to do something really fun. We are actually going to trim a few other colors of the paper, and we're going to weave them through. So I'm going to cut 2 of these. They're 1/8 of an inch wide. And you want to make sure that they stay about 1/8 of an inch, because if they're too wide, it's harder to pull the paper through those holes when we weave it through. Okay, so We're going to cut one and we're going to cut a second. So right here along this edge, the left edge of the dotted lines on these trimmers is where the blade actually cuts the paper. Then the right edge, the right dotted line, is 1/8 of an inch from where it actually cuts. So if you line the paper up on this dotted line, you'll get 1/8 of an inch cut. So I've cut one, and now I'm going to cut another one. And when you're cutting these little pieces, you need to make sure that the paper doesn't move on you. Okay, so there's two. Now I'm going to cut one other color, 1/8 of an inch as well. Okay, so we've got the three. Now I'm going to cut one more of the blue so I have enough for the circle piece that we're going to do. Okay, and I'm going to move them all over out of the way. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and cut these other pieces. All right, so this is about 1.25 inches. So this one, I'm going to cut it 1.5 inches. So it will match that piece about 1/8 of an inch on each side. And then I'm going to cut the other color at 1 3/4 of an inch. So I'll have two other colors matting the first piece. Okay, move these out of the way for a minute. Now what I want to do is I want to weave these smaller pieces in these holes. I'm going to start with the yellow one. Start from underneath, and I'm just going to go up and down in this one line of the holes from that punch. Okay, and when you get to a certain point, it's hard to push it from the bottom, so you'll need to just use your fingers and pull it up and down as you go along. And I'm at about that point. So now I'm just going to weave this up and down. Okay, so I'm going to do this with all three pieces. I'm going to put the blue in the middle, and I'm going to put the other yellow one on the other side. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to take one of the blues, and I'm going to actually start from the top and then go up and down. Just gives it a little bit of a different look. So see how it's longer here and long on here? So you can just see that it's just going to give a little bit of a different dimension as I go through. So when you're picking these colors, just make sure that it's colors out of the same color scheme and that they will show up as you're going through these. Because if they don't, if they match the color of the original piece that you cut to begin with, then they're not going to show up very well. Okay, but contrasting colors look better. And I'm really not sure I've got super contrasting colors, but you can see them. And then pull this up, pull it to the edge. A little bit more so it's even on the bottom. Okay, and then the last yellow one going from the bottom up and weave it the same way. So I hope you guys had a really good weekend. I had a lot of fun with my grandkids at their activities. Then I spent some time with my younger daughter who's pregnant with my fourth grandchild. She's due in December. So family time was really nice. And sorry that my lighting's not really good. I think it's fine on what I'm doing, but when I go back to showing my view, since it's gotten dark outside, the lighting's not quite as good. So I'm gonna have to fix that, but bear with me until I get that fixed somehow. Okay. So now all of them are woven through. See, isn't that pretty? Just love this. Okay. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. And I'm going to make sure that I get all these pieces here on the end so they don't move. And same on the bottom. And then I'm going to adhere this to the yellow piece. So just eyeball it, just center it here in the middle. Okay, and then do the same thing and then put it on the blue stripe paper. Now you can do this for anything. These are just the most recent colors that I've been using, but any color scheme, birthday, beach weather, anything from the summer, school days, makes a great border for all those different things. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna cut out some circles. So I am going to use, this is the largest circle in the custom cutting system. And I'm going to use the blue blade first, which I'm going to use on the inside. So it's going to make the smallest circle. Okay. So I'm going to line this up here. Make sure both of the knobs are in the groove right here. Okay. And if one is in and one is out, it's just going to scrape your paper. And if you're using it for photos, it's just going to scrape your photos. So make sure both the knobs are in. Go all the way around. And then make sure that this is loose all the way around. I like to use my multi-purpose tool. And then that way, if it wasn't, you haven't moved the pattern and you can put the blade back in there and cut it again. Okay, now I will be matting this with the blue stripe paper. So now I'm going to use the green blade, which is going to give me a eighth of an inch all the way around on the outside from the yellow. Again, make sure both the knobs are in the groove. Go all the way around. Make sure you can lift it up. And you're done. Okay, we're done with those. Now, I'm going to fold this circle in half. And then I'm going to get my ruler. My zero centering ruler so I can find the center. Okay, and it's about not quite 1.25 inches on each side. But what I want to do is place a pencil mark right in the center. Okay, just somewhere where you're going to be able to see it out here, because we're going to punch this circle. And we're going to punch it with a linear plaid punch. Okay, but this gets a little tricky because if I pull this out and put this on here, it doesn't go all the way to the magnet to hold it down. So the trick is to get a Post-it note. Okay, so I'm going to put the Post-it note on here. Make sure it sticks down really good. And then when I put this in here, it will go across the magnet so it will hold it in place. Now, the reason I put a pencil mark on there is because I want to line it up with one of these notches, okay? Because I want to be able to punch this in the center. So I'm going to pull this all the way down and line it up with this notch. Make sure I've got it straight. I'm going to get my ruler. And it is pretty much equal. Okay. Make sure this is pulled all the way to the edge and push this down. That's good. Okay, now put this back underneath and I'm going to punch this once. Put the paper in there, push it all the way up, lining up the notch. And it's punched just once. And there I have it punched equally on both sides. Isn't that cool? So now I can move this out of the way for now. And I'm going to erase that pencil mark. And then I'm going to weave this. And I have to wait for a second because we need to punch the other piece. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to this punch. This is a scallop hearts because that is going to be these along the edges right here. Okay, so we're going to punch this twice. I'm going to go back to this color. Then here again, pull the paper cartridge out, put the paper in, put it all the way to the edge. And punch this one. Now I'm going to pull this out because sometimes this little piece gets stuck in the cartridge. So I'm going to pull it out, down, and push it in. Now I should be okay to pull it just the rest of the way down, line it up with each different notch. I'm going to save this piece because this is also a 1/8 of an inch piece. Okay. I'm going to trim this at just about 1/2 of an inch. I don't need very much. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing one more time and punch this with the scallop heart. So we have one for each side of the border. Okay, and pull it out and down, out and down. Okay, get rid of the extra pieces that are in the way. And cut this at 1/2 inch. Okay, so now we have all the pieces to finish the border. Okay, I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to just put a little bit of repositionable adhesive on the bottom part of the hearts, because we only need a little bit to get it to stick underneath the edges of the border. Okay, lay this on here. You don't need to show the whole hearts, just kind of half of them. So line it up about where you like it. Make sure it's pretty even going down. And adhere those on there. So do the same thing with this piece. Little bit of repositionable tape as you go down. And we'll do the other side. Okay, just have a little bit of the heart center showing. Line it up as you go down. That looks pretty even. And there's that. And now we're going to take this piece and we're going to take this 1/8 of an inch piece and weave it in the edges of this. Now, I'm going to go up and down. And up and down. Let up just a little bit. Turn it over and cut it off. Do the same thing in this one. Ooh, that one went all the way down. Cool. And in this one, you can vary the colors however you would like. Just make sure they're contrasting enough that you can see them. And the last one. The neat thing about matting this circle is you're not going to have to worry about putting adhesive on each of these pieces to hold them down, because you're going to put adhesive on the whole thing and put it on this piece here. So now I need the blue. Just going to put a little bit here. And it is a little wide, so it doesn't want to fit very well. That's why it's really important to get just 1/8 of an inch on these so that they fit through here easier. Come here. There you go. Push this down under here. And trim it off. And do this one. Doesn't want to go down. Come here. There you go. And up. And down. Okay. Now we're going to put adhesive on here. And now you have a perfect mat. Using the two different blades, you have a perfect mat for this piece. Okay, now we're going to put this on here. You can offset it just a little bit if you'd like. You can put it straight if you want. I kind of like a little bit of an offset look. And now you can add whatever stickers or embellishments you like to go with it. Or if you like it like this, you can just leave it. Okay, so let's see what I got here. I have a few embellishments left from there. I will probably put these pumpkins on here. Or maybe I can put, no, those aren't very big. Maybe these. Yeah, maybe I'll just put these on here. Okay, so you've got a little bit of embellishments on there. Then we can add something to the bottom. I think I'll pull this tree and the pumpkins and add them on the bottom. So if you guys like this video, feel free to hit the like button and let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any suggestions or something else that you'd like to see, let me know. And there we go. It's done. Yay! Isn't that neat? So then when you have your page, put your border along your page and add your photos, add your journaling. Because as I've mentioned before, the who, what, when, where, telling about your photos is very important. So that people, generations to come, will know who were in the photos and why they meant so much to you. Okay? So thank you so much for hanging in there with me, for watching me complete the border. I hope you like it. And I will talk to you again soon. Have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you again next Monday. Bye.